What is it, my ducks and drakes? Welcome to the Crawdad, and today we'll be continuing I Could See, a Cindersets fanfic by ariww19 on Wattpad, chapters 7 through 9. If you'd like to read along for yourself or support the author, I'd really encourage you to do so. They're a great writer. You can find their links, like their actual Wattpad link and the book's link, in the description below. If you'd like to, you can also follow along with the book at the book link. Yeah. So without further ado, Chapter 7. I'll talk to Mr. Barnes after school and let him know about my progress. I have a feeling he's going to become a big part of my life from now on. Maybe I should tell him about Ethan as well. Not my place to do so. Alright, class, for today I want you to read pages 401 through 404 and then answer all the questions in page 405. Any of you who don't finish everything in class will have to finish it in addition to your regular homework. You will find that on the board. Begin. Mr. Barnes says after the bell rings. I pull out my history book and start on the reading. History is by far my best and favorite subject. It's mostly just reading and then answering questions about what you read. I love it. Of course, I am pretty good in all subjects, but that's likely because I came from smart parents. That and I study. I managed to finish my classwork and a small amount of my homework before the end of class. I'll see you at lunch, Verge, Roman says with a smile as we go our separate ways. Hey guys, Ethan says, walking up to my lunch table. Roman looks at Pat and look at him like he's crazy. Can I sit down? He asks. Before any of my friends can object, I tell him to take a seat. I can see he's nervous. Logan and Patton are both confused, but don't seem to have a problem with him there. Roman, however, I could see is angry, but sad. So, he was talking about Ethan. Ethan. I apologize for making fun of Logan and Patton. Then apologize for turning your back on Roman. Then maybe you three can give him another chance. He's a good guy. That I could see. I say before taking a bite from a sandwich. You told him? Roman asks Ethan. What? No, he figured it out, Ethan responds. Yeah, right, Roman mutters. He really didn't tell me. I just figured it out, I explain. Roman, I'm, really sorry. I really am. When you came out, I should have stuck by you. I never should have let my parents' attitudes towards you change mine. I'm also really sorry to the both of you. I was a major jerk, but from now on, I'll do better, Ethan says with complete sincerity. I smile to myself as I see my friends start to change their attitudes towards Ethan. Ethan smiles as well, which means he could see it too. Ethan, what the hell are you doing? You are gay as well now? Michael says, pulling Ethan to his feet by his shirt. Break off, Michael, Ethan says, removing his hand. I would take his advice, I say, also standing up. Always knew you were gay. Michael spits at him before leaving. Ethan looks like he just got wind knocked out of him. Ignore him, Ethan. Michael only hates gays because he's mad that they're actually getting some. Unlike him, who couldn't get a girl, what if he tried? I say, sitting back down. Ethan's mood changes when he laughs along with my friends. Good. After school, I tell Ethan to wait in the main hall for me. I ask him if it was cool that I share with someone that he also has soul search. He only agreed to it when I told him the person who has it. So I make my way to Mr. Barnes's classroom. Hi, Mr. Barnes. Are you busy, or can I introduce you to someone else that has soul search? He looks up from his desk, surprised. You found someone else? He asks, and I nod. He says that he'd love to meet them, so I head to the main hall to get him. Ready? I ask, and he nods. I can see that he is seriously nervous. Mr. Barnes has it? He asks when we reach the classroom. I nod, and we head inside. I knew it'd be you, Mr. Barnes says with a smile. I'm so glad that you two are getting along now. What did you guys need?" he asked. "We were wondering if there was anything you could teach us or tell us about Soul Search," I say with a glance at Ethan, who I can see is intrigued. "I've always kind of got down using it to see the souls around me without directly looking at them," I tell him. "How do you do that?" Ethan asks curiously. Mr. Barnes thinks for a minute before asking if we'd like to meet someone who's better with Soul Search than him. "We'd love to," we say at the same time. We follow him outside, and he offers to drive us. After hopping in the car, he drives us only a few blocks from the school. He pulls into the driveway of a very nice one-story house. A woman, likely younger than Mr. Barnes, is out on the front patio swing, ringing. When she notices a huge smile appears on her face and she closes her book. "Hey, Aaron, good to see you, and I see you've brought along some young soul lickers," she says, standing up. "Edith, these two are students at the school I teach at," he says, gesturing to us. The two of us introduce ourselves, and she does the same. "You two are promising. Virgil's is stronger, but still both promising," she says, examining the both of us. We all head inside and take a seat in the living room. She asks if either of us have any questions, and adds that we can ask as many as we want. The first thing I ask is the color meanings I have are the same for them. All of them are the same, so I know Grandma was right. Ethan asks how she knew we both had Soul Search. "Is that what you guys call it? I like it," she says, chuckling a little bit. "Look at our souls. Does it seem familiar?" "It should. You know, no two souls' aura is the same. Well, if you focus enough, you can see an aura behind the one on the surface. That second aura is a sign that the person you're looking at has soul liquor, or soul search as you call it," she explains, making hand gestures the entire time. We both continue to ask questions, which she happily answers. "Why wasn't I able to see anything when I looked at you?" I ask Mr. Barnes. "Soul block. With enough practice, you'll be able to hide your own soul from others who have the ability," he explains. After a few more questions, Edith says she wants to show me something. Mr. Barnes offers to help Ethan learn to use Soul Search without looking directly at a person. "You have Soul Cleanse, so I'm going to show you something I learned about 10 years ago. With this, you won't be able to prevent yourself from drawing in negative emotions whenever you have contact with someone, intentional or not, but it does help if you need to calm someone down. If you ever need or want to calm someone down, you may be really angry, extremely sad, or hiding anxiety, then this will help. Basically, too much of any negative emotion," she explains. I watch closely as she shows me what to do, using Ethan. She lays one hand on his back and breathes in. "That's it?" I ask, and she nods, laughing a bit. "That's the easy part. The next thing is to think of your own hand as a vacuum that sucks up all the negative emotions people feel," she says, replacing her hand with mine. Once I finally get how to do it down, Mr. Barnes offers to take us home. Before we leave, she pulls me aside. "Remember that using Soul Cleanse the way I showed you won't erase all of the negative feelings. It merely calms them down enough to think clearly. Also remember that using it that way shortens the time between each purging. Purging this in your body gets rid of the black liquid," she explains, and I thank her for her help. "Come back any time, boys," she calls out as we get into Mr. Barnes' car. We ask him to drop us off at the school, and then we all say goodbye. "Man, is my brother going to love when I tell him about this," Ethan says, sitting on a nearby bench. I do the same, and I ask him about his brother. "Oh, he's great. He's 8 years older than me, and the only person other than you who actually knows I'm bisexual," he says with a smile. I was so excited when he accepted me, but he knew as much as me that I could never tell my parents. They disowned me right then and there. Adam's always had my back, though, and still does when I need him," he finishes saying. I talk with him for another few minutes before we exchange numbers and go back to our homes. I've learned so much these past few weeks, more than I thought I ever would. My only wish is that my grandma was here to learn it with me. When I reached my house, I noticed my mom's car in the driveway. I thought she'd be at work. As soon as I head inside, my mom looks over to me from the love seat. She waves me over and tells the person on the phone she'd call him back. She hangs up and asks me how my day was as I sit on the couch. It was great. The Ethan guy I told you about finally came to his senses. We're friends now. Oh, and just like Mr. Barnes, he also has Soul Search. Mr. Barnes took the two of us to see his sister, who's really good at using it. I say, trying to keep my happy tone, which each word my voice gets lower. We learned so much about Soul Search. I say, looking down. Honey, is everything okay? My mom asks. I'm thinking about Grandma. She would have loved to meet other people with the same ability as us, but she can't because she's gone. I really miss her. I tell her quietly. I know, honey, I miss her too, but I'm sure that she's watching over us, she says with a smile. I look over at the framed picture of the three of us on my 12th birthday, the last birthday that I got to spend with her. Anyways, who were you on the phone with? I asked, looking back at her. Your father. He was asking me if I needed him to pick up anything, she explains, and I nod. I'll be in my room if you need me, I say, standing up. When I get to my room, the first thing I do is pull out my homework and sit on my desk by the window. It has started sprinkling outside, so I open my window to watch it fall. My phone goes off, indicating that I have a new message, but I don't check it. Not really in the mood to talk with anyone, so I turn off my phone and start working on my homework. Club will be here on Friday, and my dad on Saturday. My birthday is on Sunday. It'll be great to have all my friends here. This will be the first time I will have so many friends to spend my birthday with. Having them around will definitely make it better than just me and my family. Not that I mind spending time with my family, it's just that I welcome this change. Things will be different here. I'll keep the promise I made to my mom, even more than that. I'll make myself a promise that from now on I'm going to stay out of trouble. I'm going to have plans for after high school, but I'm not going to risk my future because of my temper. Chapter 8. Are you sure you want me to be there? Ethan says as we walk to my house. Mom, Dad, and Selena wanted me out of the house while they get everything ready for my birthday. Pat and Logan, Roman, and Caleb stayed to help because I said I was walking to get Ethan. You're one of my friends now, too, so yes, I want you to be there. I respond. He mutters to himself that he should have bought me a gift, but I assure him it's fine. I explain that I don't really accept gifts for my birthday. When we reach my house, I see Brianna on her phone outside. Hey, freak, she says with a smirk. Demon. I bite back. Mature for a 17-year-old, she says, standing up. Someone who still wets the bed at times has no right to speak of maturity, I say after telling Ethan to head inside. I hate you, she says, walking inside. I follow behind her. As soon as I walk through the door, everyone says happy birthday. Thanks, everyone. This place looks great, and that food looks even better, I say happily. Everyone but Brianna laughs before my mom comes over to give me a hug. I also hug my dad, Selena, and Caleb. I give my friends a quick hug as well. I might regret all this contact later, but right now I'm not going to worry about it. Hope you guys are hungry, my dad says as he brings in the pizza. We all head into the backyard to eat and catch up about everything. All that day is going pretty great. Caleb is getting along with all the guys, and Brianna hasn't done one thing to mess it up. Maybe she's finally growing. After a couple of hours outside, me and the guys all head inside to hang out in the living room. Ethan and Caleb seem to like each other. Aren't you two cute together? I tell Ethan as he walks by. He's completely embarrassed, but tries not to show it. I try to sit next to Rowan on the couch, but Brianna sits there first. So instead, I sit on the floor with Ethan and Caleb. You're going to be my new boyfriend, Brianna tells Rowan, and I start laughing. Unless you change into a guy, I won't count on it, I say, still laughing. Roman laughs a little as well. She just crosses her arms until she gets a wicked smirk on her face. Does that mean you like my brother? She asked Roman. He's crazy, you know, she adds before he can answer. What do you mean? He asks, confused. He sees things that aren't there, calls it soul search. Virgil thinks he could see people's souls. It's the truth, ask him, she explains loud enough for all my friends to hear. They all look at me, but by this point I'm pissed. You're dead, I say, jumping up to grab her. She jumps over the couch and runs outside. I follow her, but when I get to the back door, I bump into my dad, looking behind him to see Brianna hiding behind her mom. You little brat, if you were my family, I say darkly. After taking a deep breath, I turn back and start going into the living room. Virgil, what happened? My dad asks. Instead of ignoring him, I turn around and tell him to ask Brianna. With that said, I go sit next to Roman in the living room. Are you okay? Caleb asks. I'm fine. You know how Brianna is. Annoying, but I never actually hurt her, I say now that I've calmed down. For a second there, I wasn't sure, Roman adds with a smirk. Come on, Roman. We're just too much of a softie to hurt someone, Patton says with a genuine smile. Don't count on that, Pat, Logan says, putting a hand on his boyfriend's shoulder. I laugh a little, but then Logan asks what she was talking about. Patton tells him that it isn't any of his business, but I say that it's fine. So, is what she said true? Logan asks. No point in lying. If they don't believe me or stay my friends, then that's their problem. I was hoping to tell them myself, though. Yeah, it's true. Despite what my bratty sister says, I'm not crazy. I'm not the only person who could see them. My grandma saw them, too, I explain, leaning back. I decided not to tell them about Ethan or Mr. Barnes. It's not my place. That's so cool, Patton says, walking over to me. What does mine look like? He asked me excitedly. Well, actually, they all kind of look alike. Some stronger, though, and they all give off a distinctive aura. No two are exactly the same, I explained, glancing over at Roman and Logan. At least they believe me. Roman asks how it works. Well, for one thing, I can always see the kind of person someone really is, even if they pretend to be someone else. They change colors, too. Different colors represent different emotions, so I could see how a person feels, I explain. Usually souls are a mixture of different colors. Ethan adds, You can see them, too? Why didn't you tell me? Roman asks in disbelief. Ethan nods and says he wasn't sure if Roman would believe him. So what do the different colors mean? Patton asks. Ethan, can you explain what each of the colors represent? Also, I'll meet you guys at the park in about 10 minutes. I need to take care of something, I say, looking towards the backyard. They'll leave while I go talk to my dad and Brianna. It doesn't matter, Bri. It was not your place to tell them about something like that. That was your brother's secret to tell, I hear my dad saying. What does it matter? He's a freak and a liar. He just wants to steal all of your attention. I hate him, and I hate you, she yells, standing up. Before she can leave, I put my hand on her back and do what Mr. Barnes' sister taught me. It takes a minute, but she finally calms down. Listen, Bri, I'm not trying to take all of their attention away from you. They love you, and so do I. You're my little sister, after all. Instead of acting out, you should talk to Dad and Selena. You're hurting. That much I can see, I say calmly. Now that she's calmed down, I can't see any negative emotions. My sister believes she's not as important as me, which isn't true in the least. I'll admit the soul search is impressive, but I never thought it made me better than anyone else. Certainly not my own family. My mom's my hero, and my dad is really great too. Selena is someone I respect as well, and I know Bree will grow up to be someone kind-hearted as soon as she stops acting out. I'm sorry for telling them about your secret, she mutters, barely audible. I forgive you, I say, back with a smile. She's sincere, and that's all that matters to me. I'm going to meet up with the guys at the park. See you later, I say, waving goodbye. My parents and Selena say happy birthday to me again before waving me off. When I get about halfway to the park, I sense malice using soul search. There's more than one person, and I've met them before. Hey, Gay! Michael calls out as he comes into view. This idiot again? Ignoring his name-calling, I just try to walk around him and his friends. He and his friends block my path. I'm not in the mood today. Move, I tell them darkly. Well, it's too bad, isn't it? Because I'm in the mood to kick yo ass today, he says back with a wicked grin. Is that so? So you're all in the mood to die, then? I say with a serious look in my face. I wouldn't exactly hurt them that badly, though. Not unless it was in self-defense and I had no other choice. Maybe we shouldn't do this here, Michael. If we corner him at school, then he can't pull out a knife or something, one of them say. Do I look like the kind of guy who carries around a weapon? I'd never do that. I don't need to. Good idea, Michael says, finally walking away. He's up to something, but I don't know what. I'm sure it's nothing I can't deal with, but I'll do it later. When I reach the park, I find all my friends sitting halfway under a tree. Logan and Patton are talking together. Ethan's flirting with a flustered club. Roman's lying in the grass, watching the clouds pass overhead. Ethan is the first to notice me, but I expected that. He's been using a soul search on his surroundings, just like me. He says something to the others, who then look over at me. It's next to Roman, who's now sitting up. We share a smile, and his soul flashes pink for a split second. It catches me off guard, but I do my best not to show it. That is until I hear Ethan snickering at me. I turn to glare at him, but that just makes Roman ask what's so funny. Nothing. Like you said before, he's an idiot, I say, smirking at him. Rude, is his response, but he smirks back anyway. I was wondering something about something. Can you guys see your own souls? Never thought I'd say that, Logan says, but mutters the last part to himself. Yes, Ethan and I say at the same time. I find it rather intriguing that there are people who have that kind of ability, Logan says genuinely. They all seem to be taking this surprisingly well. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about them finding out. Your nose, Virgil, Caleb says. Using my hand, I feel under my nose and look at it. Black liquid. I also remember that using it that way shortens the time between purging. Soul cleanse, I whisper to myself. Is this from using it on Brianna? I didn't expect it to happen this soon after, but at least I'm not throwing it up. Are you okay? Roman asks, and I nod. Logan asks if the black liquid has anything to do with soul search, and I nod. Ethan explains for me basically what it is. Why does it happen to you but not Ethan? Patton questions. His soul search is stronger than my own, Ethan explains, but everyone still looks confused. Basically, I'm a human sponge for people's negative emotions, so that's why I can't stand people just touching me. Soul cleanse is something only people's whose soul search is stronger has, I clarify for them. They all nod, and I decided to lay back in the grass. Closing my eyes, I try to find out how far my soul search can reach. When I first attempted it, I could only see about 5 feet all around, but on the same day I managed to see all the way to my neighbors' houses. Now I can see about 100 feet all around, which I think is totally awesome, even without Grandma here. Today has been pretty good. Chapter 9. I wish I lived here, Caleb tells me as he sits on my bed. My dad, Selena, and Brianna left a couple hours ago. The guys all left not long after. You couldn't move here. Why don't you just ask your parents? I ask, completely serious as I lay back. My dad isn't going to leave his job just to move to California because I asked my mom adores our house. He responds, It couldn't hurt to ask. Maybe if they knew how many friends you made here, they just might. All they've ever wanted was for you to be happy, and you're happy here. Besides, your family's rich, I say back. He doesn't say anything, but I can tell he is considering it. It would be great to have him here, and I'm sure the guys would say the same. So, what's the real reason Ethan was laughing at the park earlier? He asks, but I tell him I don't want to talk about it. So instead, I ask him what he thinks about Ethan. He is nice. He's, really, he starts to say, but stops to figure out what the right word was. Attractive. Kind. I tease, which makes him flustered. You're enjoying this, he says with a frown. Yes, I am, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. I respond with a smirk and sit up. He smiles, but doesn't respond, which is okay because I can see everything he's feeling. I'm glad you're happy, Caleb. It was nice to see you coming out of your shell. I tell him. He leads back into my bed next to me, so I do the same and lay back as well. It was nice talking to them. It's like when we first met. Talking to you was effortless, he explains, and I smile. So, you like him, then? I ask and look over at him. He doesn't look at me, but when he finally nods, I pull out my phone and text Ethan. Can I ask you a question? Sure. I'm just curious about your thoughts on Caleb. I like him. He's sweet. Don't tell him I said that. Of course not. It's sick that he's going back to Florida tonight. Yeah, I'm working on that. What do you mean? Don't worry about it. So, are you going to text him at all? I'd love to, but my dumbass didn't get his number. Dumbass. Thanks, Verge. You want to maybe help me out with that? 5674674. Thanks. Sure thing. Now go text him. He's waiting. I just gave Ethan your number. I tell him and he sits up abruptly. You what? He squeaks out. I laugh at his reaction and then his phone goes off. He pulls his phone out and smiles at the screen. While I text Ethan, I close my eyes and let my mind drift. A lot of good things have happened to me since I moved to California. I've made some good friends. I've met other people at Soul Search. I've met Roman. He's really great and I'm liking him more with each day that goes by. Everything I know about him so far, I really like. I'm going to ask him about going out tomorrow after school. Not sure what he'll do, but hopefully I'll figure it out before tomorrow. There's a knock on my bedroom door, so I sit up to see my mom walking in. Hey, honey, Caleb, sweetie, are you ready? She asks, and he gets a sad look on his face. Unfortunately, he says sadly. The two of us stand up and grabs his backpack from the floor. We all head outside, and while my mom locks up, we walk over to her SUV. I'm telling you, talking with your dad couldn't hurt. You know you're always welcome to stay here. All you need is your parents' permission, I say, climbing in and turning in my seat to look at him. I'm telling you that it wouldn't work. Why do you care if I'm here anyway? You have new friends, don't you? Not like you need me around to mess it up, he says back. Does he really think that low of me? That hurts even more than I thought it would. Wow, it's nice to know what you really think of me, I say, getting out of the car. He gets out as well and tells me to stop, so I do. Mostly because he didn't completely mean it. I meant some of it. Like, he really feels like he's going to mess something up. I'm sorry, Virg. I want to be here. I want to stay here with you guys. But what if I can't? He explained sadly. Just bring it up, okay? I've got a feeling that I'll see you again real soon, I say with a smile. Are you two coming? Mom asks. We both climb back in and Mom lets me play my music. The entire way to the airport, my mom is singing along with the music. Her singing isn't bad, but it's her little dances she does at red lights and stop signs that makes me and Caleb laugh. The drive only lasts about 45 minutes. My mom finds a parking spot, and we all head inside. Before he leaves to board his flight, Mom gives him a hug and tells him he's welcome anytime. Thanks, Miss C, he says and looks over to me. We share a long hug, and he turns to leave. He turns to look at me one last time and waves goodbye. Do you want to pick up something to eat for... Honey, are you okay? Mom asks as we get back in the car. She drops her purse in the hood and grabs my face, looking over to me. I jerk away at the sudden contact and she apologizes. She gestures to her nose. Confused, I reach up and touch more black liquid coming from my nose. I am fine. It's because of soul search. Mr. Barnes called it soul cleanse. I say as we get into the car. All right, what do you want to eat? She asks. You choose. I respond as she starts the car. She nods and I put my music on shuffle. While my mom drives, I roll down the window and stare at the sky as it slowly darkens. The wind feels so nice as I close my eyes and let my mind drift. If Roman agrees to go out with me, I should have a plan beforehand. I'm not going to do anything crazy, but I do want to have fun with him. Who am I kidding? I don't know what you're even supposed to do on dates. When I was with Caleb, he was always pretty shy about going places. Not that I minded, since just being with him was fine with me. Because of that, we were always at my house, his house, or the park. I guess I could ask Patton for advice. Virgil, we're home. You coming? My mom asks. I open my eyes and climb out of the car. When we get inside, my mom turns on the TV, and we sit on the couch to eat. Spending time with her is great. Like, me and my mom enjoy the show Criminal Minds. Since we've both seen all the seasons before, we like to talk. We discuss the methods used in the show from both the FBI and the unsubs. If you're going to commit a crime, at least do it right, I comment, and my mom laughs. Don't get any ideas, she jokes. Funny. You know, I'd never heard anyone like that, I say, and she smiles. When her phone rings, I pause the show so she can answer. You sure that Dr. Wright can't come in? I see. I'm on my way, she says, looking at me. When she hangs up, she tries apologizing for having to leave. It's fine, Mom. People need your help. Besides, I'm fine by myself, I assure her. She smiles and goes into her room to get ready. I meant what I said, but it'll be boring without my mom here. After pulling my phone out of my pocket, I check the time. 8:30. I'm gonna have to settle in for the night. I turn the TV off and head to my room. Before lying down, I decided I should shower first. So I grab some of my clothes and my Bluetooth speaker and I head for the bathroom. I lock the door and turn on the water. While the water warms up, I turn on my music. Then I pull off the shirt I followed by the rest of my clothes before getting in the shower. The hot water feels so nice. I'm not one for real long showers, so after washing my hair and body, I get out. I dry off and get dressed, leaving my dirty clothes in the hamper. My mom already left, so it's just me now. I grab my phone and speaker before going back to my room. Today has been the best birthday I've ever had since my grandma died. While drying my hair, I sit at my desk and look at the picture of me and my grandma. I remember the last thing she told me. She said that she loved me, and although she may be gone, she's always with me. Have you been watching, Grandma? I hope so. Things are really good. I made a bunch of friends, not to mention the many soul searchers I've met. You'd like them. Mr. Barnes and his sister Edith have taught me a lot about soul search. Ethan is great to have around. He's awesome, and him having soul search is cool too. I'm able to talk to him about it. Kind of like I used to talk to you, I say softly while looking at the picture. I'm not sure that she could hear me, but I like to think she can. Talking to her helps me work things out, calm down, and lets me just get things off my chest so I don't get worked up. Something I've learned over time is that when I get worked up, I get angry. When I get angry, I get violent, which is not good for me or anyone around me. I'm working on my temper, and I think I'm doing okay. Last thing I want is for us to have to move again. No. This is where I want to stay. It'll be great if Caleb moves here. Even if he doesn't, I still want to keep him in my life. We may not be together, but he means a lot to me. Hopefully he knows that. There is someone new, though. His name is Roman, and I really like him. I'm actually going to ask him out tomorrow, so wish me luck on that. Anything else? Oh yeah, there's soul cleanse. I finally figured out what the black liquid is. The negative emotions of others that I absorb. It's weird, but it makes sense, I continue saying. Anyways, I miss you, Grandma, but I think I'm doing okay. Please keep watching over me, and my mom too. Also, if you can, keep an eye on my friends for me. Dad, Selena, and Bree too. I love you, Grandma. Thanks for listening. I finished saying softly. After talking with Grandma, I turned off my music, my ceiling light, and settled into bed. I'm not tired yet, so I turn on my bedside lamp and grab a book. The Disappearance by J.F. Freeman. It's a pretty good book based on what I've read so far. I managed to read a few chapters before I finally start getting tired. With a yawn, I close the book and sit on my bedside table. Then I shut off my lamp and close my eyes. After a few minutes, I fall asleep into a dreamless sleep. I made sure I got up early so I could get ready for school. Once I'm ready, I grab my phone, my book, and my headphones before putting them in my backpack. My mom's still at the hospital, so I grab an apple and head off to school to meet with the guys. I'm not feeling so great, so I doubt today will be a good day. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the book, I really recommend checking out the book for yourself and the author. The author is really talented, and they so deserve your support. So, please go ahead and do that. You can check out my social media links in the description below. I've been doing a lot of Sandersides cosplays on my TikTok, so if you'd like to catch up with those, I'd recommend you follow my TikTok. I'd like to thank you so much for listening, and like always, do your best.